Hello and welcome to FRL Race Hub on YouTube. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are watching from in the world. My name is Gogs the Captain Brown. Thank you for joining me in the comment box this evening. I am here to bring you the action for round 7 of Formula Racing League's PS5 Super Sprint Sunday Championship, sponsored by Pure Sim Gear. As I said, we're on round 7 now. We are here at the glamorous Oulton Park, just outside of Liverpool and Cheshire. We've been all around the world to some glamorous tracks, so this one really does take the biscuit, to be honest. Don't know too much about this track. I don't think it's one of the more famous tracks in the world. So I will be learning about this track just like you guys will this evening. It is of course one of the more popular tracks on the British Touring Car Championship, and the last time we went to a BTCC track at Snetterton, it gave us a cracking race. So hopefully we'll get a bit more of that, maybe hopefully a little bit less exciting for myself actually, so I don't lose my voice the following day. So we can see the track layout there on the bottom right of the screen. It's going to be one of those, and we can see on the screen actually, just how tight the track is, quite narrow. As we've got there, that's Oulton running a little bit wide with knob there in front there coming through in the Sky McLaren. Yes, I found the knob of the week already. We've not even hit qualifying yet. We've still got 2 minutes and 30 seconds of free practice. Oulton's in the middle of the track. Oh my goodness, be very careful. Oh, this guy almost caught out Gedman, almost head on into Gedman there in the Porsche, but Oulton having a little bit pre-race excursion as we get started. So this track, this area of the world, like I said, middle of England. We're looking very cold this evening, only 14 degrees, air temperature 17 degrees, track temperature. It is of course a lot colder there right now. These are the minimum settings allowed in game, but we're not expecting any rain tonight, so a bit more predictability than the last time we visited a touring car track. So if you've not raced with us before, quick rundown of the schedule on the right hand side of the screen. We're just finishing off free practice now. We have qualifying coming up. It's going to be split 13 minutes for each class of driver. We've got on the left hand side of the screen the drivers with the red backgrounds to the numbers are the AM class, and the drivers with the white background are the Pro class. AM class will get the first 13 minutes of qualifying, then Pro class will be out on track for the final 13 minutes of qualifying. We then have two races, race 1 and 2 as appropriately named. Race 1 will be a 20-minute sprint race, and race 2 will be a 40-minute sprint race. Neither of these races will have mandatory pit stops, but every race this season we have seen people in the pits to be making some emergency repairs. Hopefully not too much of that tonight, some clean driving around this. And when, no, I can't do it. I've called every other track this season legendary. I'm going to have to stop short of calling this rally track legendary. But you see the bumps there, that Lamborghini not designed to ride those curbs. Great, having given himself a little bit of a chiropractic appointment there over the curbs. 17 seconds left of practice. We've got Luca out there in P1, Mihuluka in P2, Naisbitt in 3rd, Clayton 4th, Wazzer 5th, DeVita 6th, Prentice 7th, Grafe 8th, 2nd in AM class overall. Jumping into the pits now. A lot of drivers now in the box, not many drivers out left now, a couple of laps to be completed, but not many people still out there. Mihulka going to be last over the line, it looks like. So we've got the 413 is going to come across the line next. That is Harvey. He's got Naisbitt just in behind as well. And I am still rattling around looking for someone, of course, to jump on and give an interview course, anyone racing, if you do want to give an interview in any of the final 2 races that will be coming up, you're more than welcome to do so. Please send me a message on Discord. So let's see if we can get you a quick championship rundown as we're watching Harvey still navigate the track a little bit wide coming into the Shell Oils hairpin. And that is the end of practice. So quick look at the practice leaderboards there. That's qualifying, there's practice. Luca looking absolutely lightning fast. Very interesting to see where he can put the AM class car this evening. Wiggins, who's been particularly quick all season as well, down there in AM class in 16th. So we'll see if he's got anything to do. Luca with plenty of practice there as well. So let's have a look at the AM class drivers. Wiggins is out. Car number 84 is out first. That is Lee Cablo. He was first out as well at Watkins Glen. So that will be an interesting one. To see where he ends up. So let me just sort this out very quickly, guys. I'm a little bit unprepared this evening. I cannot find this chat anywhere. Hold on. Hold the phone. There we go. Sorry guys, just getting myself into the correct box there for any potential interviewees. So we're watching Wiggins still navigate. Round the track, we've still, like I said, we've got Cablo just in front kicking up the dust. We are watching Wiggins in the yellow, black and white Porsche. Looks very quick earlier on this season. So let's see what they do. Let's have a lap with them. Come to lap 1 now. Tricky right-hander. Very bumpy on the apex there. We see the little wiggle from Wiggins. Careful with the track limits on the exit off turn 1. Turn 2 and 3 almost come together. Very tricky section. Easy to end up straight on in the grass. We've got a short straight now as well down Lakeside. And I don't know what the name of this corner is, but he's flying around there, keeps it within the white lines, down hard on the brakes for Shell Oils hairpin. And I believe we are joined by FRL's very own Chris Gedman in the commentary booth this evening. Hello Chris.
How are we doing, Gordon? What's happening?
Going well, my friend, going well. It's just getting ourselves up to speed, I guess, with this, I'm going to call it a tricky track. I'll be having a shot myself on Tuesday for Tackle Tuesday.
Excellent.
How have you found it so far?
I love Oulton Park. Oulton Park's one of my favourites. The secret to it, I find, is nice soft suspension and throttle control on the really fast kind of corners. It's definitely in Sector 1 and Sector 3. My weak point though is pretty much my pace. I'm consistent and I'll stay on track, but my pace is terrible, so I'll do like mid 35s, which is maybe good enough for kind of the latter end of the table.
You know what, if you're doing mid 35s and you keep it on the black stuff the whole way, I don't see you being at the back of the field.
Well, I might take advantage of people making mistakes. I'll maybe make, say, 1 or 2 myself, but I tend to be consistent, that's my thing. So I'll always finish sort of mid, taking a back of the kind of roster. That's just my thing. But tonight, I think everyone's already spotted that we have Laskalulu, who's shown everyone how this track should be driven.
Yep, absolutely smashed it in practice. Definitely, I did notice they had done the most laps in practice as well, but they've been lightning quick all season. With Luca and Wiggins as well. Wiggins has been out for a couple of races, but they were very quick at the earlier part of the season as well.
But look at that pace just now, as you can see. So between Luca down to P4 within a second, and I don't think you're going to get many pros that are going to do any faster than that, so I think it's going to be quite a good mixed race tonight.
Yep, I think you're absolutely right. If you're going to pick a track where you just want to do some steady laps, continue your lap round at the same speed, this is probably the track you want to do it on. This and Bathurst.
And very, very interested to see how people actually do their overtakes on here. There's probably turn 1, maybe the run up to Carousel.
Is that the hairpin at the end after the fast left? I think it's called Shell Oil's Corner. Sponsorship.
Corner, right. So you probably get 1 or 2 kind of quite lucrative overtaking spots, and then you maybe have the odd 1 or 2 people maybe making a mistake and giving the places, but the chicane's tight, sector 1's tight, sector 3's tight. It's just, I love the track. Love it.
From my experience of it, the last corner is a good overtaking spot, depending on your run out of the corner beforehand.
Yeah.
And the second
chicane. You can go
chicane.
side by side there. I've been set side by side before, but it's you're always going to get the person on the inside. At the corner is always going to come out worse off because the runoff turns left.
It does indeed. It does. Also, the second chicane is possible. Just because it's a heavy braking point. That's possible then there as well, because you've got a bit of a straight beforehand. But it does require a driver who is compliant, I guess, with you going down the inside there. But it is possible.
I think our Sunday League's got a good mixture of kind of safe drivers. I know maybe in some of the other series that we're running just now, you're maybe getting a lot of newer drivers coming in, but I think the discipline's fantastic in this series. The Sunday series, for me, you tend to get less tickets, which I see.
Yes, and that always makes your life a lot easier.
After races, I then get to go to my bed.
Oh, you see that as well? Yeah, that was that Richards and Luca, I think.
I wonder what happened there.
That's interesting. I think maybe it looked like, from what I gather, Wiggins was maybe backing off, letting whoever was coming through, thinking he was on a fast lap. Richards was on a fast lap, but Richards didn't want to overtake for obvious reasons. It's not allowed. And then obviously Luca's been caught out with the two of them going really slow, and like you said, this track overtaking, it's not wide. It's not a wide track, and there's not a lot of space to go.
Well, Lucas set the bench very high. He's done a 33.5. I think it was faster in practice. It'd be interesting to see, but my second choice for tonight, I would say, is going to be Naisbitt, because he's shown really good consistency, and I think he was just a little bit off tonight. So on the practice session, he was off by just a few tenths. Yeah,
I mean, being in the same team as him, I've seen his sector times and his lap times this week, so I know he's definitely been put in the practice. And
however, he's on a belt-driven wheel tonight. He's had to relinquish his direct drive due to sort of failure, and it's sent away. So let's see how it goes tonight.
Yep, parts failure, one of those things in motor racing. It still affects sim racing as well. I'm interested to see what Mihulka's done. Going to do this weekend as well. He's been consistently getting faster and faster as the seasons went on. Obviously with a double win last time out at Watkins.
I think his downfall here though is the Beamer. The Beamer's maybe slightly heavy, and you need to have a car that's quite nimble on here because of its undulation.
It's heavy, like you said, it's going to be difficult for that quick direction change. It will smash through the curbs though. And it's a bumpy track, and the BMW is quite, as far as I remember, quite good at bumps, as we watch Wiggins take the valley line through turn 1.
Let's have a look. Wiggins.
He's back now, he's back on track now. He took a little detour. Turn 1 tried to take it a bit wider than the track allows, so that'll be a disallowed lap.
So, what's your predictions for tonight then? I mean,
tonight,
you've been seeing a lot of these races. You've been doing the comms for us. So,
predictions tonight, mate. Okay, Luca, I think it might gradually take first overall. I could see our first AM win tonight. Wiggins threatened with it in Suzuka, but I could see it here. Right. Luca, I think, will take the overall win. Pro class is tight, isn't it? Who's actually here tonight? But Luke Prentice as well. It's joined. He's pretty quick. De Vita's had been on a flyer recently as well. Dario De Vita.
I think we're going to have.
But I think it's going to come down to between.
I think it'll be a Naisbit and
Naisbit.
Luca.
Naisbit Luca for the win.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. Hopefully visit back in with you, see what happens. I think Chris Gedman's going to win tonight. That's what I think.
He's going to win the back of the pack award tonight.
I will point out as well, if you have a look at the front, I don't know if you can see it just now, the front of Naisbit's car.
What does it say on the front?
Oh, if you can see on stream actually, he's put it nice in big capital letters in the bottom left corner for me. Driving, NOB.
Oh, so who's the knob tonight?
Naisbit's the knob tonight.
Yes! Love it. Does he know it, or was it you? Was it him?
I don't know. I have no access to it, so it's one of you guys. Okay. I really hope it was one of the Prentice brothers, to be honest. But I don't know if they can access it or not. I hope it is.
If it's on server 1, then yes, they do.
Could have been Stu as well. Stu's in chat saying big capital knob with crying laughing face. So it could have been Stu. Not ruining Stu out either.
Yes, I can't wait. I wonder if he'll spot it. Excellent.
Dario De Vita there in chat asking if you're a co-commentator to this evening. Unfortunately, no. Chris Gedman's going to go out to become a mobile third chicane for you guys.
Yes, so I'll try and make the back end of my Porsche as big as possible. So look forward to racing against me at the back of the pack. So anybody that's running at the back, beware.
Good, that's what we want to hear. Nice bit of chaos being caused, that's what we want. In the absence of the rain tonight, it's been raining every other British race we've had, but not tonight, so you can have you to throw in the chaos. That'd be great. Yes. Thanks.
Nice one, I'll let you get back to it.
Cool, I'll let you get your setup sorted for the qualifying. Good luck.
Nice one, buddy, I'll speak to you soon.
Good luck, see you then. Bye.
Bye.
So that was Chris Gedman there in chat. Car number 79 in the Porsche. That's them there, the black, yellow and blue livery. A lot of people came on chat there while we were having that little conversation. I've not ignored you, I have seen you, but I have turned my phone off as I was getting a bit of echo in, so I will have a little look back on there in reply to all of you guys. Thank you for joining us and watching. I know a lot of you guys are in the pro class and just keeping an eye on the lap times, wondering how on earth you're going to beat Luca's time this evening. De Vita, yep, good luck to everyone. Yeah, Gedman not in the comments box this evening. Would love to have another person in here, but I am here. I could talk for not just the UK, but for the EU as well, even though we're not technically no longer a member. I'm not going to get into that too much. I could go on forever, so that's why I'm here on my own as we're watching Rob Fox complete what is likely to be the last AM class qualifying time. Now, I have been learning some of the corners. This is Druid's curve. Then this double right-handed apex corner. Rob Fox flies around there and really smashes that inside curb. As the pro drivers now getting ready, some of them sitting at the end of the pit lane. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's the checkered flag out, so this will be the last AM class laps. Rob Fox, can he improve? He does not improve. Car 22 is Luca. Can he make himself any faster? No improvement in that time around, so that is the end of qualifying. No. Sorry, car 77, Grafe is still out there on a valid lap. Grafe can get this lap completed. So we'll stick with them just now as the pro class drivers race out the pit lane. The 979 of Mahuka is out first, followed by Daniel Naisbit in the 242. We've got Townsend there third on track, so we'll catch up with those guys. We'll just keep in touch with Grafe as he's entering the final sector now. He flies into the final corner, looks like a simple right hand, he's ran wide. That's the lap invalidated, so that is his qualifying done for this evening. So AM class sits Luca, Wiggins, Fox, Grafe, Richines, Ginaldi, who's just came on chat saying he's looking for damage limitation this evening. We'll see how that works out for them. We'll keep an eye on their performance actually. Rusin 7th, Cablo 8th, Sproston and Hodges did not set a valid lap time. So that's an interesting one. So, for this race. We are going to jump on board with the... Let's jump on board with Mr. Gedman actually. Since he came on there to give us a little chat, we'll jump on board with the Flying Scotsman himself, Mr. Chris Gedman, one of the admins of course in the Formula Racing League team. So big shout out to them for all the work they put in. We'll come through to the whole team in a second actually. So Gedman rounds the final corner now over this next lap. So this is technically the last corner. It's not really a corner for these cars. Into turn 1 we go. Right-hander. Early turn in on the apex. Bumpy on the middle. Bit of throttle control there as he mentioned on corner exit. Turn 2 this right-hander. Nasty bump on the inside. Get the car slowed down and then just ease the throttle. You almost want to clip that apex about midway round the corner and ease on the throttle now. Short burst down here down Lakeside into this fast left-hander. Need to be careful, keep it within the white lines there. It's so easy to end up smashed into that wall as Gedman almost does. Running a little wide on the previous corner, but gets round the Shell Oils hairpin fairly reasonably. The first of the 2 chicanes up next. This inside curb can unsettle the car, don't take too much of that one. Straighten the car out for the best possible exit over the crest. The on-car view doesn't really show the undulations here, but the second chicane comes up very quickly. Again, this curb here can unsettle the car. You can cut this one reasonably well. One of the trickiest corners on the track. This right-hander, this curb on the exit will unsettle the car. Make no mistake about it. Under the bridge now, these 2 left-handers, I forgot the name of the first one. The second one's called Water Tower. And then into Druids Bend, the double apex right-hander. Many lines through there do work. Now onto the final corner. The braking point is roughly in line with the turning symbol. That board will disappear and Gedman's on the lost the view of the car coming through the final corner. Easy to do, easy to push, but that lap will not count and he'll need to go again. So the first lap things I went through, Mehuka's 1.2 down on the fastest time so far, with Dialdriel in second in Pro Class. So Prentice, Lou Prentice has just went into P2 as well in that Porsche. We've seen previous winner this season of course, Voltens went into P4. Van der Waal still coming through these crazy chicanes indeed. Harvey's just went into P9 on the left hand side. You can see the leaderboard. Those times are going to tumble. Dan Naisbitt did not set a valid lap time last time out. It's very competitive in the midfield, but no one has touched that 1:33.397 by Luca so far anyway. Some cars coming across the line now. Jay Prentice in the green machine, that Lamborghini, the iconic livery, flying now over Deer Leap across the start finish line. Where does he go? It's a good lap up into 5th overall. That's second in class, so good lap there from Prentice. Morgan Grace, of course, been very quick this season, yet to see a win materialise. Was very quick last time out as well at Watkins Glen. A little bit of a spin unfortunately ended their chances, but they looked like they were potentially getting the race win as well. Dialvere's about to cross the line and moves up into 6th overall. Dan Naisbitt is 2/10 off pole. Chris Gedman did say he fancied Naisbitt for the win tonight, and look at the close competition up top. Malnix as well. Malnix did a cracking lap in P4 as well. So it's good lapping all round. Some drivers yet to set a lap time. I think De Vita has just put on the board. Dario De Vita has just put himself up into P14. Let's watch the last couple of laps of Eden. Last couple of corners for Eden. Round the final turn he goes in the 884 Ferrari. He's looked very quick all year as well as we enter this third last race of the season. Eden only 20th overall. There's Knob of the Week there coming down into the final corner as well. We're on board the McLaren driver. He's up through the gears. Crosses the line and goes provisionally on pole. That's a cracking lap from Mr. Naisbitt. Mihuka is not able to match it, unfortunately. Mihuka is still in P3, 7/10 down. Let's watch Clayton. Now Clayton on board here, this tricky chicane. That inside curb on the first left does look very angry. He takes a lot of that curb as Wazzer has just pipped Clayton actually to take 7th. So far, 6 minutes of qualifying remain. As we'll watch, this is the tricky curve here. It looks like a nothing corner, but that curb on the exit is so aggressive. Slow moving Eden there in the front gets out of the way, poses no problem whatsoever for Clayton as he comes into Druids Bend. Nails that second apex, absolutely on point. Great driving from Clayton. Now needs to pick the braking point for the final turn. We've seen a couple of cars get a little bit oversteamy on exit. It does happen. There is a bump there you can see on the exit as Clayton has no such issues. Comes across the line. Doesn't improve. Does not improve. So Mihoka's out there again, ready to come across the line. This is the final corner. We'll be seeing a lot of this one during qualifying. Comes up and over, down and round the loop and a barrel roll, and he does improve. He's only 4/10 off Naisbitt's time, but it's not enough, unfortunately. So we've got quite a few cars close to each other actually coming round. Jay Wazzer had number 14 car, that's Morgan Grace, for close company. We'll see what Wazzer can do. Wazzer's just improved his previous time. Wazzer, of course, famous for having the, before they put the initial and name format for the drivers, is famous within the FRL community for having the best PSN ID. I'm not going to quote it because it is obviously a public stream, but everyone here who's listening will know exactly what I'm talking about. Now let's see if he can thrust his way across the line like a rabid dog, and he's up into P4. Great driving from Wazzer, great lap. Van der Wal has also been very quick this season, not used to being down in P15. We'll see if they can do across the line. No improvement, 3 minutes 45 seconds of qualifying remaining. But car number 500 very wide there on the exit. That's Clayton, has just ported himself back to the pits. He'll have time to do one more lap. Who else have we got out there just now that we've not seen too much of? Carlo Ruse is in the box. Townsend coming to complete a lap time. Comes across the line. Can he improve from that 2.1? He does. He's well up now. Townsend up into P12. That's a lot more like the pace they've been showing this season, as the rejoining Clayton there just comes back onto the track just behind Townsend. So Eden's not really lived up to his previous, earlier on in the season's promise. Let's see if they can improve this time around. As we, yes, we do have an onboard camera on Eden. So Eden now coming under this bridge. We'll see the double apex right-hander, Druids Bend. This is one of the key corners on the track. Double apex. Almost ignore the first one. I like to ignore the first one when I'm driving, and then sort of really tuck in for the second part of that one. Focus on the exit. Eden's very late on the brakes here, takes a lot of curb. That back end wants to step out, but Eden keeps it under control. Good car control by Eden, and he crosses the line. He does improve, only a couple of positions though. Nothing doing just yet. We've got 2 minutes of qualifying left. Naisbitt still out in front by a quarter of a second. He's in the pits. Naisbitt's in the pits. The 242 car, I think he's done. Mihuka's still out there, so we'll keep an eye on Mihuka, see if they can do anything about that time. Wazzer Milnix is very close behind as well, only a tenth sort of there between 3rd and 5th, so it's tight there as well. Luke Prentice, after a couple of weekends out, making their return back. Previous winner, double winner at Laguna Seca, round 2 of course. Currently still in 6th with De Vita, who's looked really quickly in the past couple of races, not only here at Pure Sim Gear Super Sprint Sunday, but also in the other FRL event, Taco Tuesday, which takes place every Tuesday evening at 8:30 PM. The very good performances there as Gedman keeps it within the white lines this time around. We did De Vita behind Gedman as well. Gedman doesn't improve again. And neither does De Vita as well. So Mihuka, what's Mihuka do? Mihuka's in traffic. That's not ideal. 49 seconds left. The Ferrari driver in front does get out of the way, so hopefully not cause too much of an issue. The BMW driver, big heavy BMW, flies round that second to last corner. It's such a nice corner when you get it right. He needs to pinpoint the braking point. Bang on now. He doesn't quite take as much curb as his peers. There he is again, up, down and round. He comes across the line now. Doesn't improve. He's got one more chance to do it. We'll see if he can do it. He's just missed the apex there. The back end steps out. That might be his qualifying done. He's lost a bit of time there. Maybe we'll see if he can recover. Mikey Milnix in the pit lane. Wazer's just behind Mihuka, so that's still possible. Checkered flag is now out, so anyone who has yet to cross the line, this is now their last lap. The 160 car of Oulton is going to be next across the line. Then we have De Vita and Harvey behind them. 884. That is Eden has taken the yellow flags out. That Oulton has given up on qualifying this time around. De Vita now comes through the final turn. He's in the pits. He doesn't complete the lap either. So Harvey now across the line. Harvey does improve and he moves up ahead of Luke Prentice. Morgan Grace now in the Ferrari. Flies out of the final turn. We've got 71. That's Vandal Wall just behind. Grace doesn't improve and smashes into the pit wall in frustration. Great fun doing that. We've all done it. Next now is car number 43. That is Luke Prentice in the Porsche. Gives up on qualifying as well. Now the big one. And I mean that in no disrespect to the size of the back end of that BMW, but Mihuka chucks it in the pit lane as well. Well, Jay Wazer comes across the line, doesn't improve, so that is the end of qualifying for Pure Sim Gear Super Sprint Sunday. Whew. What a qualifying session that was. So let's have a look at the order. So looking through the AM class times, first of all, Luca still with the fastest first sector of anyone. First in AM class, then Wiggins in second, Rob Fox third, Gray fourth. Richines takes fifth in the Mercedes. Ginaldi takes sixth in the McLaren. Roos in the Ferrari is 7th, Cablo also in the McLaren 8th. Sproston and Hodges did not set a time. In Pro Class, Dan Naisbitt takes the fastest lap of the session and will take pole position into the race. Mihuka second in class, Wazer third, Milnix fourth, Clayton fifth, De Vita 6th, Harvey 7th, Prentice 8th, Dalbreel 9th, Townsend rounds out the top 10. Volton 11th, Grace 12th, Prentice 13th, Vandal Wall 14th, Trotman 15th, Rick Brave, I've lost track, 16th, let's go with Eden 17th, Gedman 18th. So that is the grid. We will run through, of course, a proper qualifying order on the formation lap, just to double check, and no one is going to be starting from the pit lane. I'm going to have a quick double check to see the championship order just now. So I realise that we've not given you that now in a couple of races. So let's just see who is where. Where is the battles we need to be looking at? Pro class is currently led by Dan Naisbitt on 350 points with a 30-point gap to Mihulka on 320. Third place is Jay Wazzer, so we've got the first three, 1, 2 and 3 in order here. They're further 20 points behind from 300, and then it's very tight now. 297 points and 296 points. We have Luke and Jack Prentice in behind 4th and 5th. Morgan Grace is 6th. Dario De Vita, Josh Clayton, Rick Dame Brave and Mornveg rounds up the top 10 for the championship in Pro class. In the AM class, Lasco Luca is first with 400 points exactly, with Luke Richings in second, Rob Fox in third, Grafe 4th, Kagabi in 5th, Wiggins is in 6th, Bota Marco 7th, Cablo 8th, Ginaldi 9th, Sproston 10th. It is worth keeping in mind that the only driver other than Luca to win a race this season is Stephen Wiggins in the Porsche, in the 119 Porsche. So keep an eye on them catching up with Luca as the race goes on. Luca, of course, has been very impressive so far in this race. So let's have a look at the field from the chase cam. Sproston will start on the back row. Hodges has joined, it looks like. Someone maybe left the server, it looks like, actually, based upon what I can see there. So Hodges on the back row. Sproston 27th, Gedman 26th, Cablo, then Ruse in that sort of purpley Ferrari colour, Ginaldi in the yellow and black 888 car, McLaren in Richings, Eden, then Brave, Grafe, Trotman, Fox, Vanderwall, Jay Prentice, Morgan Grace, Volten, Townsend, Dalbriel, Wiggins is in 10th and with Luke Prentice alongside on row 5. Harvey and DeVita take row 4. Clayton is alongside Mulnix in row 3. In 4th place, Jay Wazzer, and alongside him, Mioka, the Lasco Luca in AM class. First in AM class, second overall with Dan Naisbitt sitting with nobody in front of him on the grid for the start of this race. And ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Knob of the Week. Of course, in a Sky car as well. So, if you have been enjoying this stream this evening, and if you are very likely one of these drivers who are participating this evening, I do want to take a moment very quickly to discuss Patreon. Patreon, of course, a way that you can support Formula Racing League through donations and support to help them with the running of their multiple servers. Continual success of the league is dependent, of course, on this funding. So if you are one of the drivers who will be inevitably going to watch the stream back, or even if you're just enjoying the content, to be honest, if you are enjoying this, there are ways that you can donate. There's 3 options available to choose from, starting at only £3. For that, you get your very own racing number and your very own position reserved for all Formula Racing League events. You'll get your logo designed for you as well by Formula Racing League's in-house team. I've got a couple of them designed myself. They're quite snazzy. They work very well on Discord, fit perfectly in that logo space for you. You can use in your socials as well. And also, I think this is one of the better things, to be honest. You'll have your very own stream shared on amongst all Formula Racing League Discord users. And I've been saying this for weeks now. There's several thousand people, I think, who are on this server. I'm just looking through it just now. We are 100% in triple figures. I've looked through all. I don't know how I can check. I should have double checked before the start of this race, but you'll get your stream notified to over 1,000 people. So really, that £3 every month that you would pay to Formula Racing League would be investing in your own success, having your own stream broadcasted to everyone. So you'll have that notification sent to everybody who are in the Formula Racing League server. So think about it, you'll be investing in your own success. £3 a month, that's nothing. No more than your normal overpriced cup of coffee you'd get from one of these chains you see on the high street. So please do consider donating if you are racing in these leagues. It's a lot of effort that these admins go into. That is, of course, Chris Gedman, Dan Naisbitt, Stu Rogers not in the race tonight. We've also got Luke and Jack Prentice still learning the ropes, learning how to admin as well, along with all the stewards that take time out of their busy day to keep in this running. Thank you very much. Please search Patreon on Formula Racing League, and of course if you are already a patron, thank you so much for your continued support as well. Okay, so that was smooth. I think I got that in without anyone noticing. That was a very smooth interjection. So we are now ready for the start of race 1. This is round 7 of Pure Sim Gear Super Sprint Sunday. Dan Naisbitt is leading Luca on round the formation lap. It's a cold track, it is dry. We are in British winter time. We have got Mihuka and Wazzer in 3rd and 4th on the grid. 1st, 3rd and 4th are 1st, 2nd and 3rd in the championship, with Luca separating them. We'll see if Luca potentially gets involved into turn 1 as Dan Naisbitt backs the pack up now. It is a small field this evening, only 28 drivers are in the server. I don't think Hodges is actually going to take the race this evening, but we're around the final corner now. Look at that field there, they look very snazzy as they come up through the final corner. Quick screenshot there for posterity, and Naisbitt on the left, Luca on the right. We await the green flag. Green, green, green. We are racing here at Oulton Park. Luca's got a great start. Mihuka thinks about down the inside, or is he even defensive? It's hard to really tell, but Luca is still down there. Mihuka's lost a position to Wazzer. We've got a Clayton, I think, back there. Maybe Harvey off track. Harvey, careful on the rejoin. Very tricky this section now. I think the front order seems to be mostly unchanged, but it's a very clean getaway, I must say, from the pack. Great driving from everyone so far, but Naisbitt is the one who's out in front as they come through Lakeside into Shell Oil's hairpin. So that's the order. They're now updated itself. Mihuka's dropped down a position, Wazzer up. So Wazzer potentially making some inroads on that championship as Malnix gets swamped into Shell Oil. He's got a car, the McLaren, all over the back of him. He's had some heavy damage as Grace goes around the inside, and he takes to the grass just to get out of everyone's way. German coming through the pack there as well, just behind, side by side with the Mercedes driver. Is German going to make that stick down the inside off turn? And there's contact up ahead. Grace off the track. That's a very heavily damaged Ferrari. Eden's off at the back as well, as is Ginaldi. He's going to come over that heavily bumpy curb. Needs to be careful on the rejoin. This is absolute carnage here at lap 1. Nothing disappoints here at Formula Racing League, and they have done a fantastic job of keeping the action fresh for myself and you guys on lap 1. We've got a car running wide there on the exit. That's Malnix again. Malnix off track at Druitt's corner as well, so not the best start from Mikey Malnix. It is the best start from Dan Naisbitt, who sets the fastest lap of the race already. He's 8 tenths ahead of Luca. There's another small gap to Wazzer there. Prentice doing a great job, but he's got Clayton all over his rear end. Just further behind as well, Townsend under pressure from Dialbriel. Need to be careful into this tricky hairpin, and there's almost contact as he gets a little bit defensive. Really is one of the trickiest tracks on the calendar to overtake this evening. So that'll be a challenge for these pilots as they progress through the evening. But Townsend doing a great job holding back Dialbriel there, at least for the main time. But he's went deep, and Gabriel's round the outside. That's not a position you want to be in, because that curb, like we said, can throw you off the track oh so easily. Look at the car's almost drifting over that hill as the car gets light over the top. Under the Palmer Bridge, I think sure it's called, it's got a different name. But Dalibio needs to be careful here, because Oulton and Wiggins also just tucked in behind that. Looks like Naisbitt's had an incident. No, he's not. That is Malnick's recovering, I think, after a pit stop in front of him actually. So Naisbitt's not had an incident. Yeah, that's Malnick's moving out of the way. My apologies for giving a heart attack to anyone who's watching the stream. Malnick's pulls back out over, and now he's got Luca in front of him, flashing his lights, just letting the pro driver, the American, know that he is tucked in behind, because Luca has got Wazzer in close succession with Hookah under severe pressure now from Prentice. And then Prentice gets wiggly under braking for the first chicane. So of course it is so frustrating when you rejoin from an incident such as Malnick's has done there. You do just, your heart sinks when you come out just in front of the leading pack. Gabriel still behind Townsend. So far, this group of cars, it's all almost split into three groups now, three distinct groups, and you can see them there. The leading pack led by Naisbitt all the way down to De Vita. Then we've got Townsend leading the second group of cars all the way down. There's quite a long group of cars there as well, down to Rob Fox. And then the third group there, a bit more spread out, that's Gedman down to, I think, Cablo at the back. So very close racing all through the field. We've got Gabriel now all over the back, and there's slight contact. Gabriel is hit on the rear by Oulton. Coming through the exit to turn 1, that might leave a small impact. Might impact his downforce ever so slightly. But nothing too bad just now. 269, car 269, that is Sproston, is now in the pit lane as well. It really is some fantastic driving by this pack. Gabriel's so deep on the brakes till he's ran across the exit road. He'll need to give that position back. But he'll need to be careful and do it in such a way that he doesn't lose two positions. And now he can't do that because Townsend's just been overtaken, so that's potentially a bit controversial. Townsend's been overtaken by De Vita. No, it's not De Vita, that's Oulton now, so he can't give the position back. So that one might end up in the steward's room later on, as Wiggins now goes side by side into Druid's corner. Not, of course, a known overtaking place. Wiggins backs out of it, of course, he's got a car off. Who's off? That's Gabriel. Gabriel spun through Druid's corner. Yellow flags are out. Needs to be very careful when rejoining that situation. Very close contact from the car flying through there as German now comes and joins us. Gedman gets the position as well, so he's rejoined in between Gedman and Richings down in P18. That is not the end of the pressure for Townsend, however. Townsend really almost pulling these guys along. They've got Wiggins behind, then Prentice. Prentice actually really close to the back of Wiggins. And Van der Waal, of course, not letting up the back of Prentice. Rob Fox is now tucked in and joined in, only 2 tenths. A couple of tenths behind all of these drivers. German's under intense pressure back there from Dialblue as well. Maybe we've got a contact there, that looks like contact. Prentice is off. Prentice and Van der Waal make contact. There's a huge crash on the exit of the first chicane. So that's Prentice, Van der Waal, Wiggins, and that looks like them Brave as well, smashing that barrier into the crowd. The FIA will not be happy with that one. I enjoyed the decapitation, however, that was very fun to watch. as Gedman's hounded by Diabriel into that second chicane. But the aftermath of that incident there, what's happened? Townsend and Wiggins are now gone. A little bit of reprieve from them. Rob Fox just came out in front of a huge crash at the back. Van der Waal, and that looks like Rick Den Brave. Huge crash. Both of their races will be over for race 1. Harvey's been in the war as well. Van der Waal will be absolutely fuming, as will Rick Den Brave. Two massive coming together there. Huge coming together. We'll see what the stewards think of that one. We've definitely not heard the last of that. So I think Gedman's had a little bit of an incident there as well, because Diabriel's now back in front of them. Stu Rogers jumped on the chat there saying a scruffy few laps. It has been indeed. This is what you get at a British touring car circuit. One of those tracks that it's easy to get round if you're okay with lapping slowly, but the second you begin to push the car, it just wants to murder you just a little bit. A little bit of murdering, maybe a light grip round the throat. Some people are, I'm not going to, not going down that road, no. But yes, this track does want to occasionally murder you just a little bit. And we have seen that so far this evening. I did say at the top of the show when chatting to Gedman, this could be a war of attrition. If you're going to have a track where you are able to just lap consistently and get yourself round. As Mihuka looks very slow on exit, coming round the final corner over Deer Leap. Into turn 1. Clayton is really pushing Mihuka through as Luke Prentice now takes the fastest lap off the race. Great race pace shown by the Porsche driver. We know they're quick. Prentice, of course, all over the back of Wazzer, just ahead as well. As they all go marching 2 by 2 into the 4th and 5th corners. We now reach the halfway point of the race. And it is as it stood at the front with Naisbitt and Luca 1 and 2. Wazzer is up into 3rd and Prentice up into 4th. Mihuka down 3 positions and Clayton just tucked in there. Great start by DeVita. Like I said, they do seem to be coming on strong as the season has progressed. Ginaldi, they're up into 16th as well. They've had a good start. Gedman's now back in front of Diabriel as well. Luca's got past Gedman. Luca's got past Naisbitt. We don't miss where that happened. But Luca has got past Dan Naisbitt and taken the lead off the race. Your new race leader, Naisbitt on the grass. Oh, very close. But now we're going to see a true race between the two McLaren boys. One in AM, one in Pro. No doubt about it. This car is OP. But it looks like Luca really has the pace. He's cut the inside off turn 1, a little bit of grass. That'll get his tyres a bit dirty. But has Naisbitt went too hard, too fast and pushed those tyres to a point where he's not quite able to push. Now, Ruse has got a car behind him. That's the 269. Who is that? 269? The 629. Oh, that's 269. That's Froston. So Ruse has got the lapped Froston in front, but Ruse looks like he's carrying a ton of damage in that 20T Ferrari. He looks like such a handful, as I think that is it's a Lamborghini that just went off behind us. Is that Grafe? Grafe's off behind us as well. This back end looks a little bit topsy-turvy. Up in front, we've got Luca, leads Naisbitt. Naisbitt's went off! Naisbitt smashed through the wall. Now, I'm not sure if the stewards will take too kindly to that one, because Wazzer might have been very close to the back. We just missed what happened. We didn't see what happened. I don't want to make any insinuations so far. But Naisbitt absolutely smashed through the barriers in the runoff area. That is a certainty. Dyblear's now on the back of German once more. Now this has been such an action-packed race. Scruffy, as some in chat have came on to call it, I think it's been exciting. I am of course completely neutral and thoroughly enjoying the racing this evening. As German goes defensive into the final corner, the back end of that Porsche looks very lively, and that's opened the door for Dyblear. I think he's going to have the move done before turn 1. German tucks in, tries to get a little bit of slipstream, thinks about it, makes sure Dyblear knows that he's still there and he's got a good exit. It's going to be all over the back of him for turn 2. This right little kick as German's lost the wall. German is going to meet his good personal friend, the tractor driver there. Doesn't need too much of a recovery, thankfully. He is going to be able to rejoin, but I wondered who would be the first person to go and meet the JCB at turn 3, and that man was FRL's very own Chris Gedman. Just wanted the screen time. Car 71 has went off. That's Van der Waal. Sorry, he's rejoining. He's exiting the pit lane. Obviously involved in that big accident at the start, coming out of the first chicane. So let's have a quick review of what's happened. Luca, not only leading AM class, but overall, absolute blistering pace by the McLaren driver. Dan Naisbitt's lost a position and looks to be hanging his car on the ragged edge, really pushing it to the absolute limit. Wazer's currently in third with Luke Prentice, the returning Luke Prentice, really pushing him along very nicely. We're on board with Luke Prentice as he comes down into Shell Oil's apron. 5 minutes of racing, action-packed racing still to go. This is round 7 out of 9 rounds. We do have 2 more races left where we go to Zandvoort and finish it off, of course, at Indianapolis, where you can take part in these races if this is something that is maybe your cup of tea and you want to take part. The game is available on PlayStation Plus for extra and premium members as a download. And to sign up on www.thesimgrid.com, it is free of charge as well. So search for Formula Racing League on thesimgrid.com for details on how to join Pure Sim Gear Super Sprint Sundays, Taco Tuesdays and Late Night Thursdays as well. Prentice really is hanging that car on the ragged edge. Really pushing it this evening. Has been a cracking performance as well from Fox up into that podium position in AM class. Good drive from them. Prentice is drifting that car around all the corners. Mahuka has ran wide on the exit of turn 1. Is that going to open the door for Clayton now? Clayton is right up the back of the Liquimoli car. He's going to get a little tow here. Somebody else in front's kicking up the grass as well. Clayton now, only a couple of times he backed off. He knows it can be very tricky to follow another car through there. Now the 508 car has been off. That's Rob Fox. Rob Fox has had an incident exiting turn 1 and is now falling down the order. Dyblear's just went past. Oh, his steering's gone. I think his steering's damaged. Victim Braven. Oh, another car comes through there. That's another Ferrari. I think this might be one he needs to just go to the pit lane as German comes past safely. I think he's pulling off. He's heading off. He's going to go and visit the tractor and get recovered. Rob Fox meets the tractor driver and becomes the second driver to meet the JCB driver. Yellow flags out at the exit of turn 3. Still, he's now back in the pit lane. As we're now watching Mihoka, second in the championship, really being pressed by Clayton. Clayton's had a fantastic race so far. Up and down, I don't know what that corner's called, it's like up and down, round we go. Where we stop, nobody knows. Just again, if you are still watching, if you're new to it, if you've just rejoined us actually, with 2 minutes left off race 1 this evening. Car number 2, sorry, did it up 269. That's Sproston has been off track and now rejoining. Where is he? He's on the back straight between the two chicanes, so he's now not lost too much positions. Malnick's off now as well in the final corner. That Ferrari has been playing WRC this weekend. Off again for Mr. Malnick's. I'm sure he'll find a reason at home to pick himself up. Mrs. Cletus, of course, we're referring to. She'll be happy with that, getting mentioned on stream. Right, okay, so let's recap. 2 minutes to go. Luca, Naisbitt, Wazzer, Prentice, Mihoka, Clayton, DeVita, Volten, Wiggins and Prentice, top 10. Super quick. Richings is now all over the back of Dialbrio. He's right up there. Look at the debris all over the track. These two chicanes have caused... They have been a menace to society as Luca begins our final lap, as we are advised by Italian Jeff. Luca has been absolutely fantastic this time out. He has led a masterclass from the lights of free practice. Looked super quick. Don't quite know what happened with Naisbitt. We'll maybe get a report in the chat there. Hopefully I'll be able to find something out for you guys. Naisbitt's now dropped back a couple of seconds. This looks like a potential big battle about to happen. Cameraman really having a hard time keeping up with these two, and he's caught up now. The cameraman Clayton is watching himself dance all over the back of that BMW. He really wants that position, make it that top 5. Mihuka, of course, wants to keep it for that sustained championship challenge. Prentice, of course, all over the back of Wiggins as well. Very close between these drivers in the closing stages of race 1. We've accidentally hit drive. Let's return back to the garage as we're watching Luca now. Double checking the driver tracker, making sure there's no immediate overtaking, nothing just now. Luca has been absolutely flying all through the race. He's into the final corner now. It's been a commanding drive from the McLaren driver, the OP car of the season. It doesn't matter, you still need to beat what's put in front of you, and Luca takes the overall race win. Dan Naisbitt comes home and takes second overall, first in class. Wazzer second, Prentice third, fourth overall. Mihuka takes fifth, holds on from Clayton at the end. DeVita comes across the line in seventh. Volten has held off. That's not for position. Volten crosses the line next. Wiggins is going to come home and take second for AM class. Just holds off Prentice. Townsend's under an intense battle with Diabrio into the final corner. He kicks the defensive line. Diabrio's going to have a fantastic exit, but I think this one has been held off by the McLaren driver, that lime green machine. Diabrio finishes 12th. Richings takes the final podium position. Ginaldi's going to cross now in fourth in class. That is a good result for them. They will be pleased with that one. Harvey comes across the line 15th. Gedman from the back of the grid will take 16th place. Harvey into the wall, boom. Roos takes 17th overall. Eden will take 18th. Cablo is going very slowly there. Maybe been off, it looks like. That's potentially another position. Nope, that's not. That looks like Trotman coming through there, unlapping himself. Cablo maybe just letting them go past. So everyone now crossing the line at different times as Cablo now hits the wall. Maybe Stevens damaged in that McLaren, but he's finished the race, and that's the important thing for Lee Cablo, who takes 19th. Wow. Wowie wow. What a race we have had there this evening. So let's recap that one, shall we? So The AM class order is as follows: Luca, Wiggins, Richings for the podium. Congratulations to those guys. Ginaldi, Roos, Cablo, Sproston, Grafe, Hodges and Fox, with Marcus Locklear not taking the start. Race, then overall, we have Luca, in pro class, we'll go for the overall class. Luca takes the race win and fastest lap. Dan Naisbitt is second, first in class. Wazza and Prentice make up the pro podium. Fifth overall was Mihoka. Clayton 6th, DeVita 7th, Volten 8th, Wiggins P9 with Jay Prentice in 10th. Townsend finishes in 11th, Dalrymple in 12th, very close between those guys, 2/10 off a second. Richings will take 13th, Ginaldi 14th, Harvey 15th, Gedman 16th, Roos 17th, Eden 18th, Cablo 19th, Milnix in 20th, 21st is Sproston, Trotman 22nd, Grafe 23rd, Hodges 24th with Fox in 25th, Dem Brave 26th, Vanderwall 27th, Grace 28th, and Locklear, like we said, did not take the start. We do have an update from Dan Naisbitt, who has advised his fantastic mechanics. It's him, it's his fault. His fantastic mechanics were not able to fit fresh tyres for race 1, so he'll have those freshies on for race 2 with the extra grip. So maybe that explains why we've seen Naisbitt erratically all over the track, smashing through those barriers, decapitating fans in the crowd. It's okay though, it is only a racing sim, he won't be put up for manslaughter. So, let's have a quick chat about what you can catch on Formula Racing League. Just a quick bit of advertising for the league. Just want to make you all aware, of course, that there is this league, the Super Sprint Sunday, sponsored by Pure Sim Gear, which happens every Sunday at 8 PM. We have Taco Tuesday, starts at 8:30 PM every Tuesday, as the name suggests, and we have the Late Night Thursday series, I believe starts 9:45 every Thursday. We are on week 7 of a 9-week calendar, so there are 2 races left to go. And of course, if you want to join any of these races, you just need a copy of the game, Assetto Corsa Competizione. It is one of those free to download games available on the PlayStation Store, and of course all the downloaded content is available on the Black Friday sale as well. Do get down and have a look if you've not already purchased it, or if you want to take part. You can obviously do so with a controller or a racing wheel. You do not need to have a wheel. Our very own Luke Prentice, currently qualified in 9th, does play with a controller. So keep that in mind, you can be competitive with a controller as well. www.thesimgrid.com and search for Formula Racing League. All the details on how to join these championships are available there, as well as details on how to join their Discord. So do take a look at that if you are interested. The next season, of course, will be starting in the new year, but you are able to rejoin mid-season. There is space, of course. The grids can hold up to, I think it's 40 drivers we can have now, so we've got 29 here. Taco Tuesday's got over 90 drivers, I think, signed up, split over 4 tiers. I could be mistaken with that one, I don't think it's that high. It's maybe closer to 60 or 70, but we do have a lot of drivers available there, and the Late Night Thursday series is screaming out for drivers, guys. 9:45 PM. This season I'm using all the same car, all in the Porsche 992 Cup car. Very fun little machines, tricky to drive, but they are a great equaliser, as they do not have the same electrical assists that the rest of the cars have. It's a very interesting car to drive, and if you are free on Thursday evenings, do give it a consideration. Even if you are just watching and you don't normally participate in the Super Sprint Sunday, you want to get involved. FRL, Late Night Thursdays, one of the best places to learn the ropes of league racing. So I'm going to take a short break. We've got 36 seconds before the start of race 2, 40-minute race. I'm going to quickly jump
30 seconds
for a comfort break and refill my bottle of water. I just want to make it clear that Dan Naisbitt was indeed the same as his nameplate suggests there in race 1 by not fitting fresh tyres. Hope he has done this time around and we can get rid of that tag for him for next time out at Zandvoort. I'm going to go for a quick break as the formation lap gets underway. I'll be back in about 30 seconds. Don't go anywhere, I'll be right back. Hello everyone, thank you for waiting. I do appreciate your patience. I am now back and fully equipped with 2 bottles of water as we see Luke Prentice there in the background doing his best Formula 1 impression, zigzagging across the track. Of course, one of the advantages of having that controller can do for you. So, we're now into the final race. This is race 2 of round 7 and we have got just next time out, like I said, it was in Zandvoort, another tricky track, and the race season finale, not just for a Super Sprint Sunday, but for Taco Tuesday and late night Thursday series will all take place at the legendary Brickyard that is Indianapolis, of course, in the United States. But we are here at of the equally legendary, the iconic, the emotional Oulton Park, just outside of, in Cheshire, just outside of Tripoli in the United Kingdom. Our British touring car favourite as Dan Naisbitt volunteers to smash the tyres out of the way to clear up the apex for everyone. We've also got some, I think, bollards there being smashed. Need to be careful with that. That is something that is, you can be penalised for that, so we need to be careful with that, guys. Making sure everyone can kind of be aware that on the formation lap you do ghost, but again, one of those things that can come back to bite you. So, we await the start of race 2. 40 minutes of high octane action, gearboxes crunching and Dan Naisbitt putting on fresh tyres. We've got Naisbitt on the right in the Sky McLaren, the purple McLaren on the left of Luca. As the camera changes twice, we've got Mihuka alongside. We wait for the green flag.
Green line, give it
and we are green. We are underway for race 2 as Naisbitt's taking the inside line. Mihuka's got a much better start this time. Wazza really slow off the side. Molnix really pushes them very hard. We've got another car off. That's Luke Prentice deciding to park the car. We'll double check what's happened there. Huge crash at the back. What's happened? That's Jack Prentice. Oh, there's cars everywhere. I have no idea what's happened there, but that's been a huge crash at the start. We've just missed that action. That is Rob Fox there. We've had broken steering column. Oh dear. The Vita's in the wall there as well. So let's have a look at our front. Naisbitt's off! Oh no, we'll catch up with what's happened at the back. We've missed what's happened at the front, but Dan Naisbitt has ended up off at Shell Oil's hairpin. That's not going to go well. Luca has now taken the lead. We've got Mihuka in P2. Molnix up into podium position. There's a good start from Molnix. How far back is Daniel Naisbitt? We've got the 160 off now as well. This has been a very scruffy, and this is scruffy, Stu. This is the scruffy start that we've had. Voting off in the very... He's in the middle of the track. German's now approaching on the racing line. German goes past as well. German, I think, involved in that massive crash at the start. A lot of cars being involved there, so we need to try and catch up. We'll maybe get some race reports from some of the drivers watching this to see what happened. But Luca is out in front. Mihuka is in P2. That will do his championship wonders because that is effectively first in class. Another car through the debris there. This so much stuff there at the exit of turn 1 there, but I think everyone's got through okay. It's now been cleared up, it looks like. Richings very sideways as Locklear into the pits. Richings in the pits. Lots of cars jumping into the pit lane. So maybe they were involved in the massive crashes. Grafe into the pits, as is Eden. So a lot of drivers feeling the need. Look at them. Oh my goodness. Look at the number of them in the pits. Absolute chaos at the start. So let's just quickly check if the replay does show. I think we might actually get to see what happened here. Just very quickly. I want to see what happened at the start. Let's get us round the formation lap. So what happened here at the back? Let's watch. So we get underway. I don't think it happens this far back. Oh dear God. Right, what's happened there? So we've got a couple of cars involved. That's it up there. This is the race start. Oh, Prentice has tagged the Vita. Right, okay, that's what happened at the start and caused the pile up. Right, back to the race, let's go. So up front, Luca, 2 seconds now in front. Mihuka second. Wazzer is now into P3. Molnix is third in class, fourth overall, Harvey. Then Wiggins with a good start as well. Grace down well. Van der Waal 8th. Naisbitt is round up in 9th place. Clayton 10th. Dybrio 11th. Sproston is third in class with Hodges. Great start from Hodges actually, probably benefiting from that action at the start. Locklear 14th. Gedman 15th. Cablo 16th. And last of the runners, a lot of cars in the pits. Grave has rejoined, as has now Rick Den Brave. So they're rejoining the race as it stands. A huge crash at the start there. Naisbitt's now going to be moving through the field. We've seen they had the pace. Can they use it to bring themselves back into contention? This one's just firing up. Folks, ladies and gentlemen, boys and gals and non-binary pals, we are here for an absolute cracker. Naisbitt's really applying the pressure, coming through Druid's corner into the final turn. Now we go. Dario De Vita in chat saying he's off to the shop again like he done last Sunday. If he can get anyone some milk, maybe a loaf of bread or something, he's offered very kindly. Maybe a coffee for the morning. He's going to get you some instant coffee as Naisbitt decides to play Rallycross on the exit of turn 1. He needs to not do too much of that if he wants to bring himself back into contention. So looking up top, Malnix is really beginning to apply the pressure to Wazzer. It's a good start from Malnix. We know he has the pace. That's the thing with Malnix. We know he's very quick. He's just not put it together this season, but is this his time to shine? Is he going to get himself on that podium this time around? He's got a bit of a gap to Harvey back there in 5th. Naisbitt, of course, flying around there. We've got Van der Waal just in front. Is that tyre wall just sitting there staring at us? Van der Waal looks like he maybe got a bit slow coming out of that tricky corner. Naisbitt's alongside now, got the inside line for Druids and they almost touch. He's got the inside. Van der Waal keeps around it. He's got the wheels in his grass. He's going to have to give that one up, and he does so, and Naisbitt has moved himself up. Very good driving, it must be said. Clean driving there from Naisbitt and Van der Waal. Great shout out to them. Fantastic driving from the pair of them. Next up the road for Naisbitt is Morgan Grace. No mean feat, of course. We do have a car rejoining there. That is the Lamborghini one of the lapped vehicles, I think, back there. I think it's potentially Fox. Is indeed Fox rejoins behind Grace, of course, a lap down. Grace has fell off the back of Wiggins a little bit. No! Malnick has spun. He's been spun around again. Malnick spun around on the entrance to Shell Oil's corner. Maybe the accident happened a little bit before the actual corner itself, but that's now a heavily damaged Ferrari, and down in P13 with Gedman potentially going to take that position from him as well. Harvey is now under severe pressure. What's happened there? I think we've got a lapped car back there. I think that's what's causing the confusion. So as the timing board now updates itself, that is a free position for Naisbitt, who tries to fight his way back up through the order. Mihuka is 4 seconds down, but now takes the fastest lap of the race. But Mihuka is under severe pressure. We've got a lapped car. That is Townsend. Townsend getting lapped in the way into turn 1, and what are these guys doing? They're fighting over a position that's not even a position. Townsend now lets Wazzer go as well. So potentially a bit of controversy there. You look a little bit further back, Harvey, that Ferrari looks like is carrying a bit of damage as well. He'll be struggling with front downforce. Not what you want going through this tricky, fast left-hander, one of the most treacherous corners on the track, as I think Dan Naisbitt and Mikey Malnick have both found out this evening. So Luca is leading AM class, Wiggins in P2, who's just in the 119 post, just is in your screen just now. And then third is Sproston. Sproston up into the podium position so far with a 16-second gap to Hodges. So Sproston is doing very well back there as well, as we're watching this gaggle of cars come through the chicane now. As Harvey leads Wiggins. Wazzer is all over the back of that BMW like it is another dog. He wants to really apply everything he knows to get a little bit of a wiggle there on the exit of the final turn. That won't do him well into turn 1. He moves over, just letting Mihuka know he is there. Very good tactic, of course, on this track as Naisbitt gets past Grace on the way into turn 1. Naisbitt up another position now, up into P6 overall. So after that spin at the start, he's recovered to 4th in class. That's a good recovery. Oh, lag happened. What's going on there? What's happened? Wiggins in the wall. He's rejoined and he's over the track. That's so close to contact from the cars coming through. I think that was Van der Waal. What's happened to Wiggins there? Was there contact between Wiggins and Harvey? That is now the question. As Naisbitt, it's up and Grace almost straight lines into the side of Naisbitt. Nothing doing this time around. Oh, Wiggins must have had a massive accident, because that's Naisbitt now up into P5 with Harvey just in front. It's almost like the parting of the seas for Dan Naisbitt, as there just seem to be falling off around him. As we see Wiggins, the driver tracker, updating itself now. He's in the pit lane, so I don't know if we'll see Wiggins rejoin this time around. See if we can quickly have a look at that replay. We'll catch it maybe a bit later on this evening, but we'll rejoin the race very quickly. There we go. And we'll catch some of that at the end, some of the highlights of the race. There's a new feature for this week's episode. We'll call it an episode. because this is like a drama, with the amount of drama we have going on, the stories we have developing over this season. We've got Naismith now down the outside of the Shell Oils hairpin, round the outside. Can he make it stick? He does, round the outside of Harvey. That is an absolutely fantastic move from the Welshman. Great driving. Up into P4 now as Townsend, the lap to Townsend, gets out off of the way. Very wide, decides to play some WRC himself. Grace going through as well, and there's almost contact there at the back. But Molnix is rejoining this. Yeah, so I think maybe Townsend involved in that massive accident at the start of the race, so that's what's happened there. So thank you all for watching so far. This has been an action-packed race here at Oulton Park. Formula Racing League never fails to disappoint at tracks such as this. The British GT tracks, Snetterton as well, have both provided some fantastic racing. We have 27 minutes of driving time left in this one, and we're almost in two separate races now, as there was of course a massive pile up at well, before they even got to turn 1 actually, resulting, oh, we've got a parked car there. That's Eden off to visit the JCB tractor at the exit of turn 3 as well, and he's towed back to the pits by the friendly tractor owner. We're currently watching Wazzer, Jay Wazzer, like I said, the missile himself, really closing in to the back. The rear puppy's off. Well, look at the mistake there by Mihuka. He's under pressure now. We're on board Wazzer. This is going to be close coming down into the braking zone for the hairpin. This is for first in class. And Wazzer sweeps over the front. He's ran a little bit deep. He's on the grass. That's going to compromise him on the exit. Mihuka keeps it pointing in a straight line. And these two have now swapped over positions, but it's not over yet. Townsend behind them with the best view in the house of this battle as they come through the trees. But that one, I think, is Jay Wazzer taking first in class and being released to go after Lasco Luca up there in P1. We'll see if he can pull away from the BMW driver. He's like a dog, isn't it? It's like a dog on like laminate floor, and his like wheels just scraping away, really trying to push himself round the track. Very tricky corner, that turn 3 Cascades. Of course, we see Luca there, so they're only the length of Lakeside. That's only the gap, it's not actually that far. Mihuka still within a couple of tenths. We'll see if he can keep that going as the race continues. Dan Naisbitt's a bit further back, 6 seconds down now in P4, and Harvey is in 5th. Race 6th, Van der Waal is in 7th with the lapped Ferrari behind him. Dialbriel is in P9 with Townsend behind, but this time it's not for position. Then there's a huge gap back to Sproston and another huge gap back to Hodges. Clayton is all over his back, with Gedman doing a great job as well. This is of course the review, the mid-race review, where I let you know who is going on well. Cablo is in 4th in class as well. Good start from them. Samuel Grafe in the 77 Lamborghini, currently running 15th with Luke Fitchins. Podium sitter in race 1, 16th. Wiggins is 17th. Den Brave 18th, Trotman 19th, and they are all scattered all over the track here. We'll see how it ends up. Ruse Fox. Ruse is in the pit lane. Fox is, as is Devita. Devita is back from the shop, so if you wanted to go and get you a pack of smokes, you are too late, unfortunately. Eden and Prentice in the pits as well. That's a shame to see Prentice now in the pits as well. Mihoka not letting Wazzer get away. The gap now 6 seconds between Luca out in front with Wazzer behind. Been very impressed with Wazzer this time around, the 32 Ferrari driver. He's done a good job so far. Very consistent performing. Grace is off, oh no! Grace in the wall at the Shell Oils hairpin. I think that's maybe a mistake coming around the previous turn, and it's just the accidents ended up at that corner. But that is Grace now. Not lost a position. Well, he has. He lost a position to Van der Waal, because that is Dalbriel in behind. Yeah, it is. It is. So that's now been done. Harvey's in the pits. Harvey's had an accident, so maybe it was Harvey and Grace together having that accident. Van der Waal moves up into a top 5 position with a 5-second gap. So that's Van der Waal up into P5. This has been a chaotic race so far. Sproston is in 9th, top 10 for Matthew Sproston. He's got a Samuel Grave, I think, in behind trying to unlap himself, which of course you are allowed to do. Oh, they've hit each other! Oh no! Guys, come on, it's not even for position. Sort it out. As we just jump to Mihuka, really applying the pressure to Wazzer. The gap to Naisbitt is still 5.5 seconds, so it's not like he's under severe pressure. He can afford to take a small risk. Of course, don't want to end up in the wall because his championship, he's currently doing well for his championship. As it's, if the race were to finish like this, Luca would pull away at the top of the AM Class Championship by quite a lot, as Wiggins down there in 17th. Mihuka would catch up on Naisbitt, but only by a couple of points. But Wazzer would catch up on Mihuka by a couple of points as well. So these three, of course, leading the Pro Class Championship 1, 2 and 3. Jay Prentice is still running, so he was likely to overtake his brother as in this race too. So championship ramifications going into the final 2 races of the season. And we are watching Dalbriel on the back of Morgan Grace, the 69 car. The Lamborghini versus Ferrari, the pride of Italy up for grabs between these two drivers. And we can see, I think Grace might be struggling a little bit after that incident. And you see the wider line taken by the Lamborghini. That's not meant. That is because of the dirty air, the aero wash, the effect of the turbulent air coming off the back of the car in front's rear wing. As we see the difference there under braking, that Lamborghini, not usually the best car on the brakes, mind, able to get the car slowed down very quickly. That sky in the background is looking very grey. It is in the United Kingdom, so it's very likely we might end up with a potential incident, hopefully with rain there, but hopefully nothing will become of it. It has been great to watch from the commentary box this season so far, because I've really gotten to know these drivers and exactly how they race. It's been great to watch Mihuka's coming of age, as he started the season off solidly with some top 10s, and he's slowly built himself up into becoming a regular race win contender along with Wazzer. Dan Naisbitt started off very strongly, always a contender, but has built himself up over the last few seasons as well, and this is his real opportunity to win Super Sprint Sunday Pure Sim Gear. And Jay Wazzer's joined the title fight, always had the pace, but has now managed to put in a consistent championship challenge, and it's great to see. Samuel Grafe there on the back of Malnix. So that is for a lapped position. Will he give the position up? Because there's always a debate of blue flags between Pro and Am class. He is being lapped, so in theory he should still give that place up should Malnix. That debrief on turn 1, the turn 1 accident, still there. Of course. Malnix lets him go now, but he's on the grass and they've hit each other! Oh my goodness, that is for position. That is the number 77 of Grafe, who's currently 5th in class. He's got some cars that are in behind him. Is it Richings? That's not for position, thankfully. He has a big gap, but Malnix not letting the blue flag car past. Moves up ahead there, that's Van der Waal, and that is Oulton trying to, I think it's Oulton there, trying to unlap himself. It is currently showing us 5 laps down. Trying to unlap himself, just wants to get on. He'll have better tyres, and sometimes the best thing to do is just to let them go. But Diabriel's now all over the back of Grace into turn 1. As we jump on board, let's just watch and listen to this. I love the noise of that Lamborghini engine. It sounds glorious, especially when running on board. The absolute raw power of it really is a fantastic engine to have in the back of your, or the front or middle or whatever it is in this car. Is my car choice on this game as well, so it's great to see. Now let's have a look at some other drivers as we go through the field. That's Cablo. I think Clayton's just got past Cablo there for P11. Look at that grey sky in the background there, that looks very threatening. That's Grafe and Malnix again. So let's just see if Malnix is a bit more receptive to letting the car behind through. I mean, we can see that the Lamborghini looks like it is the faster driver. Malnix, of course, trying to get himself back in the race, currently running P21. Diabriel still on the back of Grace. Into Shell Oil's hairpin. Grace, of course, not an easy customer to race against. He's very quick, very tough, but fair. He is a very quick customer, and like he would have been one of the drivers expected to challenge for the championship this season. We look behind now, this is from the rear view of Mihuka. They've just lapped a couple of cars, and that's allowed Wazza to really close right up. And close right up he has. You can see the difference in the lines there. It looks like Wazza might have a better exit, but speed carried through the corner from Mihuka really is something else. Dan Naisbitt's now closed up to the back of these guys. It must be noted he's only 3.7 behind, so he has been making slow but steady inroads. It's been a good stint from the resident Welshman. So again, if you have been enjoying this race, this action-packed race, like myself, of course, I've thoroughly been enjoying this one. Just obviously remember you can support these guys using Patreon, of course. It is essential to the ongoing success of FRL, and the main purpose of that is to cover the operational costs, such as the hiring of these very expensive private servers, to be honest. to host these championships, securing commentary and streams as well, such as this one, along with other sort of utilities associated with sim racing. So please remember, it is only £3. That is not a lot when you compare it to the amount a lot of people spend on their designer coffee cups just to get their name on the side of the cup. It's £3, and like I said, your own live stream will be distributed to every single Formula Racing League member, so you will be investing in your own success, and I have put that link in the chat for you guys for the ease of access. So please have a look at that there, patreon.com/Formula Racing League. I'm also going to pop up there in the chat a link to their SimGrid page as well. Just so you can see all the championships that are available by Formula Racing League, and you can have a look at them. But we're watching Grace just now, defending hard from Diabriel. Diabriel's really made the move. Grace is not leaving a lot of space there on the exit of entrance of turn 1, the outside, and he retains that position. Van der Waal, of course, just in front of these two, and they've been going at such a pace that they've been catching Van der Waal as it's went on, as the race has gone on there. Look at the debris at the exit of turn 3 as well. It really is a lot of polystyrene all over the track. Don't actually know if that damages the car. That will be interesting to know. We've got Hodges there with Dario De Vita and Townsend, Jay Prentice, coming through the back straight closely together. Dan Naisbitt's catching up the back of the leaders now as well. So we'll see if we can get another shot at this as we see the front two. Not the front two, sorry, my apologies. That is for 6th and 7th. The battle here just now. And we'll stick with these guys, I think, for a while, because they really have been giving us a lot of action. Actually, if we just jump in front, and Mihuka has been is right on the... No, I've lost track of what's happened now. Mihuka's on the back of Wazzer. 0.2 of a second separate these two. And this is, their battering is really allowing Dan Naisbitt to fight his way back. He's got one lapped car between them, which I think he'll dispose of very quickly. And then he'll be on the back of these two for the lead in class. And this is an absolute shame for Luca, who has put in a master class of driving out in front. Now 8.3 seconds ahead, the AM class championship leader, leading overall in this race here at Oulton Park. And we can see the gap there, it's visibly smaller now. Look at this, this is the Wazzer Mihuka. We've got a lapped car there in the middle of this lot. I think that is Trothman. And then we've got Dan Naisbitt coming round as well. As Wazzer lets him go, but he's up on that car, but he gets through okay. He does make his way through. Looks like Rinaldi's made a move there on Harvey, or Rinaldi's defending from Harvey. It's very close between these two as well just now. Rinaldi has got the inside into 2, but that's going to give him the outside for 3. Harvey backs off of it, doesn't need his race ruined at this point. Mihuka's had a bit of a wobbly back end coming out of the final corner. We've seen that quite a lot this season, the back end of these cars jiggling about like your favourite jelly on a Sunday afternoon with some ice cream at a child's party. I've lost volume. Test, I don't know if I can still be heard. I'm going to wait for it on the stream. Yep, you can still hear me. I've lost all volume within the game, so if I start shouting, I do apologise. Yep, okay, so I am working, I am still streaming live. My apologies for that. We are watching Mihuka chasing down Wazzer. Yeah, it's game volume that I've lost. That's been a glitch in the game. Can I fix it? That's just going to affect you guys, not me, so I'll leave that where it is. We'll leave the sound settings and we'll watch Mihoka really applying the screws here to Wazzer. He's not letting it go. Grace and Diablo again under severe pressure. We've got Van der Waal. These two have caught Van der Waal now, so it's now a three-way battle. They've got a blue car. That looks like De Vita. De Vita off track, now rejoining. Mihoka is running in third right now. He's second in class. He's got a small gap to Wazzer just in front, but it's the charging Daniel Naisbitt in third place. We need to watch, and we've also got Van der Waal, Grace and Dialbreel, the battle for fifth place. So this is the battles at the start. We've had a massive, if you just joined us, we've got a massive accident at the start of the race. Before even turn one, taking out a couple of drivers. Harvey has got in front of Ginaldi, and Malnix is next to that little battle as well. Mihoka's off. Mihoka's been off at the hairpin, and that's going to allow Wazzer off down the road completely free. The dog has got out off the pound like a missile. Naisbitt's going to take second in class, third overall. Mihoka has rejoined. Let's see if we can work out where he's rejoined. That's Dialbreel. So he's down in 8th. Is he damaged? Is that BMW carrying a lot of damage? Doesn't look too bad. It looks like he's maybe kept it out of the wall, thankfully. He has done, so there's no damage, no lasting damage that I can see. That's a good thing for him, anyway. But Grace is now alongside, defending from Dialbreel. He's taking the inside line. Dialbreel's on the racing line. He's going to get a good exit. Grace is going to be compromised potentially, but he doesn't look like he's dropped too much speed actually coming through there. And he hasn't. It's good defending from the 14 Ferrari. Very interesting, a good mix here. We've got the McLaren, Ferrari and Lamborghini, and a BMW joining the back of this battle as well, but maybe not enough left of not enough tire juice left in that BMW to keep up with these guys at front. 5 minutes and 45 seconds remaining, not long left for these guys to make a final impression. I don't want to look away because anytime any one of these guys could make the move that matters. If we've got a BMW just getting out of the way there. And Grace is sideways on the exit off the hairpin, so he's dropped off now the back of the McLaren driver. And that's opened the door for number 69, Dialbreel. He's went defensive again, Grace has, into the Druids curve. Is that going to compromise him again into the final corner? This is one of the corners you can overtake on. He doesn't do it this time. Instead, Dialbreel feels he has to get defensive, as he's got the former race leader, he's got the former pro class leader in front of, behind him now, really applying the pressure, and it's so close between these front three. No major battles, I think, throughout the field elsewhere. Nobody really running in that close succession. Malnix on the back of Ginaldi, I think, is the closest one. Big shout out to De Vita, Jack Prentice, Rob Fox, Malnix, Ginaldi, Harvey. I think all these guys involved in the massive accident at turn 1. Anyone else, of course, has rejoined after the crash at turn 1. Big shout out to those guys for rejoining. It's fantastic you're able to rejoin us for this race, and of course you will get championship points for finishing the race. Top 30, of course, getting championship points of 29 people taking part this evening. So we're watching Grace defend hard from from Dialbriel and Mihulka. Van der Waal a tiny bit up the road has made a small error coming out of the final part of that chicane. As Van der Waal's running a little bit wide, he's going to be compromised heavily on the exit, as is Grace, who tries to take avoidant action. And that's going to put him under pressure now from Dialbriel, who's on the racing line. He's going deep into the corner, and there's slight contact. There's a Constantina effect. Now that looked like Mihulka had hit the back of Dialbriel, but that was not Mihulka's fault. That was a Constantina kind of effect where Grace at the back of Van der Waal, Dialbriel hit the back of Grace. And then, unfortunately, Mihulka was the recipient of it, and there's another two BMWs getting together there. That's Hodges. As Sproston allows Prentice through to unlap himself, at least one lap. Grace still on the back of Van der Waal. This is 2 minutes and 30 seconds remaining. Dan Naisbitt's not done enough, unfortunately, to catch back up to Wazzer to retake the lead. Luca has put in an absolutely fantastic performance. He's going to be today's double winner. If things finish as they stand, I do want to put that qualifier in there. But he looks like he is ready to take that overall win. I'm not sure if it is his first overall win in FRL or not. I will find that out. But it's a cracking job from the McLaren driver in the 22 car so far. Grace is now all over the back of Van der Waal. Look how close they are. You can see the difference as they pull out. He's alongside. He's got the racing line. He tries to hang it around the outside. Van der Waal is going to keep that position. And he does so. Great driving from Van der Waal in the McLaren. Clean from the two out in front as well. As we see again the slipstream effect of these two, this tricky corner again, flying round. Grace is almost on the grass. That's not where you want to be. That will put you straight into that barrier just in front. We see the camber of the corner sweeping the cars round. That very tricky turn. Leader is now on the final lap as Italian Jeff just keeps us up to date. We've got Luca there. He's got some lapped traffic in front of him, so you'll need to be careful as he comes to meet these guys. I'm going to quickly go back to Van der Waal and Grace because these guys are giving us a hell of a fight as Van der Waal went wide again. That's going to compromise him. Now Grace has got the fantastic closing speed there, and the move's going to be done before they even get to the braking zone, or is it? Because Van der Waal still on the inside. He needs to be careful. Grace gives him the racing room. There's a slight little bit of argy-bargy, nothing too serious there this time around, but Van der Waal's not giving this position up. He wants that position. It is for a podium, but Grace, I think, has now kept the position, and Van der Waal's pushed maybe just a little bit too hard. He's got 5 seconds further back to Mihulka, but Luca now coming round through the lapped cars. It really has been a great drive. He's not been on screen very often. That's because he's been out in front in a class of his own. As he comes through now into Druid's curve, or Druid's corner. Sorry, I'm going to have to quickly jump back because look how close Naisbitt is on the back of Wazzer now. Quickly jump to Luca, who's coming through the final turn now, up over the crest and now across the line to be the winner of race 2. Double win for the McLaren driver. But here we've got Wazzer defending hard from Naisbitt on the final lap. Checkered flag is out and Wazzer's going to take the first in class overall with Dan Naisbitt coming home in P2, third overall. Morgan Grace has led a mighty fine race, and that is I am a poet, and I didn't even know I was rhyming those words. Grace coming through Druids Bend now had a very eventful drive through the field, as has Naismith in front of him, of course. These two will feel like it is a well-deserved podium. Commiserations to Van der Waal, who held the position all the way round to the very last lap. What's happened? Grace lost the rear. He's given the position back. It looks like Van der Waal has given the position back to take... I'm speechless. We'll come back to that in a second. As Mihuka has let Gabriel past as well coming at the final corner. Very interesting. Hodges is going to hold on for 9th. Clayton there in 10th. Some lapped cars, of course, just crossing the field. Christopher Gedman coming round the final turn now in the 79 Porsche. Going to take the checkered flag again from the back of the grid. Gedman with a cracking drive up to P11. That's 2 weeks in a row he's done that. Great drive. And Samuel Grafe in 12th place. He's shown us 2 laps down. He is the last runner going to cross the line this evening. Samuel Grafe, great job by them, and takes the checkered flag. Great driving all round this evening. And again, my 2 bottles of water have not prevented me from having my voice begin to go at the end of the race. I really hope it's not been for nothing. Hope you all can still hear me. My voice has really began to go as I've saved the highlights there. So, there's the race. I think I've just got sound back, which is good for me. I can hear engines. There's Luca still on track. So turned it back to the pit lane now. I was going to get a little lap of honour for him, but he obviously doesn't want that. Again, so I said earlier on I was going to put in the chat there, this is a link to SimGrid as well. Just if you're interested in this kind of thing and want to take part, all the information is on that link there as well. So, race order, AM class. We have Luca taking the race win and overall win. Absolutely stunning drive from the McLaren. Sproston in the Lamborghini, and Hodges also get themselves a podium. Great driving from them, great finish for those guys. Samuel Grafe is in 4th, Lee Cablow 5th. Richings in 6th, Wiggins 7th, recovering back to 7th. Ginaldi is in 8th with Fox in P9, big accident from them. Ruse 10th and Locklear did not take the start. In Pro Class we had Wazzer taking the class win. Dan Naismith battling back up into P3. Van der Waal is shown as 4th there. Don't know what happened at the line. Grace gave the position back. 4th in class. Gabriel is currently shown as in 5th. Mihoka 6th. Big accident from them as well near in the end. A couple of mistakes there. So that's 6th. Clayton 7th. Gedman 8th in class. Trotman 9th. Townsend finishes P10 in class. Harvey 11th, Milnick's 12th, Prentice 13th, DeVita 14th, Dembrave, Volton, Ruse and Eden. Locklear, Luke Prentice all showing as not taking the checkered flag and did not finish. So that is the order of the race. Let's quickly have a little look at that replay again we wanted to have a look at. Well, I quickly go over what's coming up in Formula Racing League. So, what is coming up indeed? Well, this is round 7. We're in week 7 of a 9-week championships. We have Taco Tuesday taking place at Oulton Park, 60 minutes round the same track. We're expecting similar conditions. So we're going to get that race up next on Tuesday night, 8:30, Tier 1. There's Naismith and Dybra having a bit of an incident there, so that may end up in the stewards room. Yep, Taco Tuesday, 8:30 PM. Tier 1 is being streamed live here at FRL Race Hub. You can, of course, join Tier 1 or Tier 2 using the SimGrid link. We'll go into SimGrid and looking for Formula Racing League there. Interesting. That's a glitch. Maybe I'm not allowed to watch it. Yeah, okay, that's fine. We're not allowed to watch the stream back, that's absolutely fine. We have Late Night Thursday at 9:45 PM on Thursday nights, again, as the name suggests. All sign-ups available on SimGrid. We do have, I think, just announced a potential, or at least in the near future, an endurance championship starting next year. Information will be on SimGrid again. Have a look at that. You can enter your own team into that one as well. Big team multi-driver team endurance events starting next year. So I just want to take this time for thanking you for joining me in the commentary box. Again, it has been an absolute pleasure to bring to you Pure Sim Gear Super Sprint Sundays by Formula Racing League. Next time out for Super Sprint Sunday, we will be live on YouTube from 7:45 PM. There's, you see Naismith, they're trying to go for the gap. We will be out next time, next Sunday, 7:45 PM at FRL Race Hub. YouTube.com at FRL Race Hub Formula Racing League TV. And we will be at Zandvoort, Circuit Zandvoort, one of the most technical tracks. A bit wider. Oh, the replays are broken. That's annoying. Right, okay. Yep, Zandvoort next time out. Thank you very much for joining me in the comms box. It's been a pleasure to speak to you guys this evening. And we'll see you next time, next week, same time, same place. See you then. Take care.